house is a house with ghosts in it. The spirits of people who've died. But the spirits living in a house possessed have never existed in human form. They've only existed in spirit form. They're pure evil. They're demons.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another edition of Geek Demon Online. I am your host, the one and only Geek Demon, and joining me today is the ever beautiful Lady D.
Hello.
Lady D. It has been a while since I've had you on the show.
I know.
We finally got you sleeping and me wanting to produce a show on par with each other.
It doesn't happen often.
No, it don't. On top of which, what a crazy couple weeks we've had.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, the Geekmobile got taken out by a e-bike. Yes. I collided with an e-bike and it totaled my car. Totaled it. How the fuck did a little bike total my car?
I don't know. What happened to the bike?
I don't know, because last I saw, the police were just wheeling the bike over to where the house...
See, with the damage it did to your car, I'd imagine the bike should have been in pieces.
Yeah, my luck, no, the bike is probably still operable. My car, on the other hand, died. It died, it went to car heaven, and then I was out without a vehicle for a while. But now I got a Geekmobile version 3 sitting in the parking lot. Just the other day we got it.
Yeah.
Beautiful 2015 Kia Soul?
Yeah.
Kia Soul. Beautiful car. So let's hope I dodge e-bikes from now on. Like keep them in my line of sight. No more e-bikes near me.
Just every time you make a turn, honk your horn like multiple times.
Yeah, like bitches, I be coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, that happened. And then of course when that happened, we had a fear of me losing my job because no transportation. And then we had a fear of like how we were going to survive without me working. It was a rough.
To be fair,
yes,
you were stressing more than I was.
Yes, I was stressing
because I knew it wouldn't take long before you could get another job. Worst case scenario, you wouldn't have been able to get another car, but you could have got a bus pass and got another job. And if we had to do a month with me paying all the rent, I could have done it.
Yeah, I know. I really was stressing, guys. Like, I came home one time, and I just started bawling. Because I just couldn't... I was like, it was just so much stress. And I don't know. I just couldn't fathom how we were going to do it. Like, every time I turned around, there was something new I either had to pay for, or not working in our favor.
Yeah.
And I was just like, God, I can't do this. I can't do it. This is it. I'm done. I was done. But, no, we pulled through, and here we are.
Yeah.
That was a long story short, but yeah, here we are. And today, I want to talk to you about horror movies. We haven't talked horror movies in a long time. There, clear my throat. We haven't talked horror movies in a long time, as my phone goes off. I will repeat, because now no more interruptions. We haven't talked horror movies in a long time.
Right.
And there's one in particular I really like, and I don't know if you remember watching. It's called Night of the Demons.
I don't know if I've seen it.
You've seen it.
I have?
You had to have seen it.
I always get it confused with Demon Knight, just because of the title.
I can see where that Night of the Demon Knight kind of...
Yeah.
But they're completely different movies. Both good in their own right.
Okay.
But today we're talking about Night of the Demons. It came out, I believe, 1986? Let's see. Do I have any notes on this? No, I don't. I'm such a bad podcaster. I don't have any notes on this, but I think it's 1986.
Yeah, well, I couldn't tell you.
But, okay, so you don't remember watching it, though?
No.
I could have swore I showed it to you.
If it came out in 86, and I did see it, I probably would have been pretty young, and I doubt I'd remember the title.
Well, let me give you, like, a little synopsis of it, okay? First and foremost, It was directed by a guy named Kevin Tenney. He directed the movie. He has done other notable movies, but this was like the movie I know him for. Is Night of the Demons. It starts off on Halloween night. 10 teenagers decide to throw a party at an abandoned Hull house. This big, it's like a crematory slash, well, I don't know what they call them, like a funeral
So far,
parlor.
I'm not really getting anything from this because there's so many movies like this so far.
There's a lot to start off like this, but there's this giant funeral parlor slash crematory called Hull House
Okay.
that has like a whole history behind it. It's like the guy of the house ended up killing his family and the maid and all this, and that he like killed everybody himself. He was into the like devil worshipping and all this stuff. That there was the whole story behind Hull House. Then this house, get this house is surrounded by not only a giant wall, but underneath the wall, someone built a wall over running water.
Are you sure I've seen this?
You've seen this.
I don't remember seeing it.
But, yeah, there's running water. And that comes into play a little bit later. But these 10 teenagers, and I mean, it's stereotypical teenagers. You got your punk, you got a goth, you got a prep, you've got your jock, you've got your, like, lone... Like, there's... You name it, the stereotype's there in this group.
Wait, this isn't the one with that, one girl that you kind of had a thing for that, like, gets naked and... Is that what it is?
Well, you're right, somewhat.
She gets naked and dances.
But that's a different movie again. But it is the same woman, Linnea Quigley. She's a scream queen, so she's been in a lot of horror movies. But she's in.
Man, I thought I was.
You're close. She is the same woman. Her acting is so on par, though. I don't know. I love Linnea Quigley. She is a scream queen. She's right up there with the likes of Heather Langenkamp and Jennifer. Is it Christy Lawrence or Jennifer Lawrence or whatever? I forget, something Lawrence.
Jennifer Lawrence?
No, I don't remember her first name, but the one that played Kirsty in...
Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Her last name's Lawrence, I think, too.
Okay.
And of course, oh my God, I can't think of names today. Halloween, Jamie Lee Curtis.
You're saying she's right up there with Jamie Lee Curtis.
No, but they're all scream queens. They're all considered Scream
queens?
Scream queens. They're all considered scream queens. Okay?
Yeah.
And she's up there with them because she's been in so many horror movies. She's been in multiple horror movies. She's even been in Nightmare on Elm Street. She was in a Nightmare on Elm Street. She was in what you're thinking of is Return of the Living Dead, when she dances in the grave. But she's in Night of the Demons. And she's actually the first one to get possessed. But again, 10 teenagers go up to this Hull House on Halloween night to partay. And by party, oh, I see that face. What?
I think I know what movie you're talking about now.
Okay, what?
Was there a goth girl with, like, black hair and she was, like, really weird?
Well, yeah.
She had a really weird personality.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Angela.
In this movie, was there possessions also?
Yeah,
and the one did the lipstick thing?
Yes, the lipstick
Okay,
thing.
yeah, I know
the
what movie
lipstick thing. We'll get into that. But
Yeah.
10 teenagers go to this place. Their party consists of one boombox, a strobe light, and I think a couple beers, because I didn't see anyone bring any snacks or something, but I think there was a snack table.
Well, there should have been. If
There
you
should
bring
have been.
alcohol, there needs to be snacks.
They're all dancing, they're all partying, but the power goes out. Right? Stooge, who brought the boombox, forgot to bring batteries. Duh. So here they are. They're all like, what do we do now? And then Angela says, hey, how about we have a seance? So they pull out this giant-ass mirror that they find in one of the rooms, and they do this, like, past life seance thing where you're supposed to see who you were in a past life. And one of them sees a demon.
Mhm.
When it works, no one else saw it, but one saw a demon. And she freaks out, screams, the mirror breaks. They're all like, fuck you, you just ruined the party. Great, what do we do now? So, in typical 80s fashion, some of the people decide to go explore the building to find private places. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, the teenager romp, you know, can't be a horror movie without sex.
Yeah, well, that's the worst thing to do if you're in a horror movie.
Right. One of the survival tips. Do not have sex if you're in a horror movie. Right? If you're a teenager, abstinence. You'll survive. But while this happens, Angela gets possessed. Well, actually, her friend gets possessed, Linnea Quigley, and she possesses Angela.
Yeah.
Linnea Quigley leaves with somebody, leaving Angela by herself, and then they slowly become demons. Angela, when she becomes a demon, she does the lipstick thing. Now, do you remember what the lipstick thing was?
Yes.
What? Well, go ahead. What was the lipstick thing?
I think I remember. Didn't she kind of push them into her nipples?
Yes. She takes the lipstick, kind of like circles around her tit,
Yeah.
and then slowly slides and pushes the whole lipstick thing into her nipple until it disappears.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does that. That was her lead into possession. And then Angela becomes possessed, and they all slowly, one by one, it becomes a free-for-all. Like, people are getting killed, people are getting possessed. It's all going down, right? But then you find out, like, the building, like I said, there's running water underneath the wall outside the building. That was to keep the spirits from being able to cross over.
Yeah.
It keeps the evil right there at Hull House.
Yeah.
And it comes down to it. We got a couple survivors. I ain't going to mention names. I'm not going to mention who because I don't want to spoil too much of the movie. But you got to watch the movie.
I love you.
What?
But if this movie came out in 86 and people still haven't watched it, they might not be about to watch it.
Hey now. My whole thing is I love horror movies, and I'm sure someone out there is going to hear this and be like, Night of the Demons, it sounds interesting. I want to check it out. Because there's a lot of people that my demographic that's either younger than me and have not seen this movie, or just getting into horror movies and are like, well, I've seen, The Conjurings and stuff, but go later. There's good movies that are pre-1990.
Yeah.
So go check them out. And the hill that I will stand on.
The hill that you will die on?
Well, if you want to go that far, Mrs. Morbid.
That's what the saying is. That is what the saying is.
Fine. The hill that I will die on is Night of the Demons for being as cheesy as it is. For 1980s horror, it's really good.
Well, I feel like there's something I need to say. Because I see on Facebook a lot of judgment towards alternative people.
Okay.
Gothic people are not necessarily like her.
No.
They are definitely not. I feel like that's what a lot of people think of them. Those are the stereotypes.
Yeah.
But if you meet a Gothic person and you talk to them, that's not what you're gonna encounter.
It was also the 80s.
Yeah.
I mean, take it for a grain of salt. Everybody that's in this movie is playing up the stereotype of they're supposed to be. The good girl in this movie, she's all like, oh, fudge. Like, she doesn't curse.
Yeah.
The goth girl is all about, like, let's have seances and we're going to do this till we die and all that stuff. The preppy girl is like, I thought you were going to have some cute boys. Like, they were all, like, all played up.
Yeah.
So take it for what it's worth. It was 1980s played up.
I just felt like I needed to put that out there for the alternative community.
All right. Well, that's good. That's good. But yes, I also like this movie because there's a wraparound movie. There's a wraparound story that's involved in this. Because while the movie is about these 10 teenagers going up to Hull House getting possessed and trying to survive Halloween night.
Yeah.
There's also a wraparound where in the beginning of the movie you see this grumpy old man who hates teenagers. And he turns around and shows off an apple and a razor blade. And he's like, you guys are going to get what's coming to you tonight. Ha 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 ha. You don't see him for the rest of the movie. He has nothing to do with the rest of the movie. At the end of Halloween, the next day, November 1st,
Mm-hmm.
it's morning time. You see him come downstairs. He's in his bathrobe. And he turns around and he sits down and his wife brings him a slice of apple pie. And he's like, oh, this is real good. And she's like, yeah, we didn't have as many teenagers or we didn't have as many kids come around yesterday. So I used the leftover apples. And then you see like his throat start cutting and like the razor blade coming through his throat because he swallowed a razor blade.
Yeah.
And he drops dead right there on his plate. And his wife is like, she's just nonchalant about it because it's like she knew.
Well, yeah, I mean,
The whole time.
if you cut up apples, it's gonna be hard to miss a razor blade. She knew.
Yeah. But the only reason why I spoiled that is because it's a wraparound story. It's not the main story. It's not the main what goes on. You gotta watch Night of the Demons. The practical effects for 1986, maybe 88, I'm not sure again at the time frame, but still, the practical effects is what makes this movie great. Not as much the crazy stereotypes of the teenagers,
Yeah.
but the practical effects because it's pre-digital. There was no digital effect. All the effects, any of the demons you see, the demons showing up, the demon faces, the possessions, anything they do is all practical effects. I'm a big fan of practical effects. I love when they can pull stuff off that's not digital.
And also, I'd say that's a good thing because if you look at earlier digital effects, they're kind of horrible.
Right? Like, I mean, they were good for the time.
At the time, yeah, but you watch them now and you're just like,
Yeah,
really?
like if you go back to even Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man movie. I love Spider-Man. But the first Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire,
Yeah.
if you sit there and try to watch it, you can see when they're fighting in midair and stuff, it's like, oh my god, is it digital?
Yeah.
It is digital. But practical effects, love it. And Night of the Demons is superb with the practical effects. In fact, I like to say that this movie, when it first came out, got a very bad, like people were just kind of like, meh, this movie.
Yeah.
But it gained a cult following for its practical effects and the fact that it happens on Halloween night. A lot of people watch it as a Halloween movie. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we're going to watch a horror movie on Halloween night. Let's make it about Halloween night. And really, you believe it or not, there's not many horror movies about Halloween except Halloween. You know what I'm saying?
Right, yeah, but every Halloween there's like every day a Halloween or a horror movie
Mm-hmm.
on TV.
Yeah, like a marathon.
Yeah.
But yeah, not a lot of horror movies around Halloween. But Night of the Demons is. So my suggestion to the listeners listening at home, if you stayed with me so far, is if you want to see a good horror movie, and now that Lady D kind of remembers the movie.
Yeah. Took me a while to get there, but I got there.
If you want to see a good horror movie, if you're just getting into liking horror movies, or if you want to broaden your horizons of horror movies, if your horror movies consist of anything 2000 and newer, I highly suggest going back and checking out Night of the Demons, 1986. It has spawned 2 or 3 sequels and a remake. There was a remake starring Shannon Elizabeth.
Huh.
Yep.
I wonder if I saw that one.
The remake, I think, came out in the 2000s.
Okay.
And it stars Shannon Elizabeth, and she plays, I think, the role of Angela. And it's all the same. Like, they all go to this haunted place, they become demons, and it's a fight for survival.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw it. Being a fan of the original,
You don't like remakes.
I'm not a big fan of remakes. I tried to give it a shot. It was too fast. If that makes sense. Like, Night of the Demons brought you demons, but it showed you a slow possession. Everyone became possessed throughout the night.
Yeah.
In the remake, it was like, I'm a fucking demon. Like, it was like fast.
See, I know you and I are different when it comes to remakes. You typically don't like them, and I'd say there's a decent chance I will like them, just for the simple fact that I've desensitized myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Scary movies don't scare me.
Right.
And the newer ones with the better graphics and stuff like that typically are more realistic.
Yep.
And a little bit more scary. It's literally just a matter of I've desensitized myself, and I just don't have the same reaction that most people have to horror movies.
Well, and I understand that. I think a lot of people probably, growing up watching horror movies, have the same way. I'm kind of desensitized.
Yeah.
But I will admit, a new scare will get me once in a while. Like, if it's something I didn't expect, type deal. However, that's for another day.
Okay.
Tonight was about Night of the Demons. I hope you guys enjoyed our podcast tonight. If you like what you hear and you want to hear more about horror movies, because I'm going to be popping out lots, and like I want to get back to what I like. I've done where we've done news. I've done where we've talked about like stupid shit. But I love horror movies, and I can sit here and talk for hours and hours upon horror movies. And I think it's one of the first things you and I bonded on.
Yeah.
You liked horror movies.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to be doing for a while. I want to talk about horror movies, have the audience, my listeners listen. Maybe they will hear about a horror movie that they're like, oh, wow, okay, well, that sounds like a good movie, or what the fuck are they talking about?
Let's be honest, though. A lot of the time, like, we might seek out a good horror movie, but that's only most of the time. There are times when we intentionally seek out
really bad ones.
The worse it is, the more we want to see it.
And we will talk about those too, though. So be prepared, guys. You never know what we're going to talk about. It could be good, the bad, the ugly. They're all there. But until next time, guys, remember to stay freaky, stay geeky, stay nerdy, stay dirty.
Bye.
Bye. And sexy, bitches.
Yeah, I don't say that anymore.
Oh, okay. Bye.
Bye.